What's all this junk?
Just a bit of continuous integration stuff.
I'm kidding, it's not junk, I know what it is.
So the only thing to remember is just this bit here, which is just a little bit different from yesterday. To include that bit.
August 1st? Oh, all these? Okay.
Just, yeah, those
Okay.
bits.
Oh, I didn't know any of this stuff this morning.
Oh, maybe a couple of different people said it yesterday. That's cool.
Okay, no, I'll get it taken care of, not a problem.
See you
Thank you.
later. So I leave the hooter at 1:15 and people are flooding. Oh, spinning.
So, good session so far?
Yeah, great.
Excellent. You guys are the troopers. You're coming in on Saturday, man. That's great.
Got a day off in lieu for it yesterday. So.
Pardon?
I got a day off yesterday for today.
Oh,
so
okay.
it worked out pretty well.
Oh, there you go. That's actually pretty good. Well, somebody this morning says, no, we're just the contractors. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense too. Everybody local, did you guys drive in? Or bus in, or train in?
40, 50 miles away.
Wow, cool, that's great. You too? 40, 50 miles?
About 70
Oh,
miles.
okay. There you go, you're winning so far.
I'm just on the central line out east, so not far at all. I'm there for the food.
You heard there's free food, you should have. It's actually not a bad plan. It gets better. There's free beer at the end of the day.
So it makes this nice.
Yeah, I know, it's great. I work for the most wonderful company.
Are these yearly these events?
Well, so far, it's the second one, but
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Yeah, Annabelle, if you see her, you see a young, gorgeous young lady, smart as hell, running like a crazy person. Yeah, she's the one who runs this, and she is amazing. Say thank you to her, because she's done more than anyone else has to make sure it's a good event. Anybody had the run out of the room moment yet? The moment you go, really? Oh my God, I've got to change my production server now. No?
So everybody's head down on the laptops.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Well,
Hello. Welcome. For 5 minutes.
we then just yeah.
Wow. This
It's
is
a bit optimistic, that, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's a bit optimistic.
Yeah, well, I made a commitment to somebody that I would present in shorts instead of trousers, so I'm now freezing. If the weather wasn't bad enough, we're air conditioning the place.
Yeah.
So the question everyone has to contemplate is, do you really believe that the Russian emperor spent 3 hours resuscitating a random peasant? I'm not buying it, but yeah, I'm willing to be open on the topic. Hey, nope, nope. I'll warn you up front, the very single best part of the demo failed yesterday. We run it 4 times this morning, successfully. So either I've used up all my luck, or I fixed the problem. So we'll see what happens. Making no promises. Actually, having said that, let me check something. Paranoia being the better part of valor. You piece of dough. Okay. Okay, it might work. We'll see. Good. Sorry, not over there. Cool. Mike, go ahead. So the room's filled up. I can ask the same questions again. Good session? Good day? You guys have a good day? Yeah. Excellent. We've got 70 miles. Anybody need that? For travel? Into here today? Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you. I came, I walked downstairs. I'm not sure how far that is. It's less than a mile. Belgium, you win. All right, 15, we're starting. Sandbox development process. Here is our agenda. We'll be talking about process, talking about sandboxes, talking about all kinds of things. But here's my question to you first. Developers, straight up, how many? Oh my God, I almost got that. Okay, you guys can leave now. I want to mainly talk to the DBAs, although here's the deal. You're going to stay, that's cool. Take all this back and talk to your DBAs, okay? You guys already know how to do this stuff. You guys are already good at this stuff. And it's the DBAs that are really a hurt bunch that don't know what they're supposed to be doing as far as development goes. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about that. I'm not throwing rocks at DBAs. I am a DBA, but I did come out of development, so I don't know. I'm a sick person, I guess. I've done both. And then we'll talk about how to automate the process. My name is Greg Fritchie. I work for Redgate Software. This is my contact information. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, if you would like, to send me spam, please use this email, this Twitter, these blogs, and get in touch. I really do want you to use this information. I'm putting it out there for you to use. Just slide it one more time at the end. I don't have an about me slide. No one cares who was talking. They don't really care about the information. So let's talk about it. Process. Scrum, Agile, FDD, TDD, Waterfall. What am I missing? XP. Yeah, oh God, that was fun, wasn't it? What else? Extreme. Huh? DSD, and what's that? No, don't wave off. What is it? Dynamic System Development Methodology.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no kidding. Rad. Absolutely. Team. Okay, all those fun things. You guys have spent decades working on methodologies of both development, well, I shouldn't say both, of development, deployment, and teamwork on developing projects. And over that same period of time, DBAs have done nothing. What we have done as DBAs is we spent our time coming up with various ways of doing high availability and various methods for protecting the data, all kinds of cool backup processes, compression algorithms, and we've spent tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of hours tuning your crappy SQL code, okay? But what we have not done is work on development processes, and it shows. We suffer from the fact that DBAs have not spent that time like you guys have. And that's where this whole idea comes in. Process, I don't care what process you use and what methodologies you're using for your development, but what I do care is that you bring your DBA team, and DBAs, the guys who are here, you guys come into the development team and work with them if you're doing development. If you're a straight backup DBA guy who's like on call and you never ever touch the development processes, you may not care about this. But if you're involved in database design, database development, if you're involved in system architectures in such a way that you're going to be doing and working with development teams, you've got to hook into their development processes because these guys are good at it. The developers are good at what they do. They really are. And so you've got to get behind them and support that process. And so that's, again, I don't care what process you use. I don't care what methodology is, although feature-driven development sucks. And I don't mind saying it out loud. But most of the others, and test-driven development makes my head hurt. Other than that, I really like most of the processes that that I've worked with developers over the years. Heck, I even like waterfall. It made sense. It may not work well, but gosh, at least it was clear. But I don't care which method you use, you gotta look at it. So, process-focused development. What is the process? Well, my proposal, or my thoughts, or the methodologies that I've actually used with some of my development teams, starts with the sandbox. Starts with a playground. Do they call it that in the UK? Is a sandbox a playground in the UK? Sandbox. Okay, cool. Good. One of those words that crosses over, you know, like we have a thing that's for a woman's headwear called a bonnet. It is not a piece of a car. I've used that joke several times because it's easy. But good, sandbox. It's a playground. It's for your development teams. Go there, have fun. And then eventually, you're going to go to a shared server, right? No matter what, if you're one of those guys that's like you're all by yourself, you don't touch anybody, you never talk to anybody, you do all your development in a nice little isolated silo, you can leave. If you're working with at least one other person, you gotta stay. Because at some point, their code and your code have to play well together. And so you're going to go to a shared environment, and that's where you're going to test that stuff out. That's where you're going to validate those methodologies. Now that could be through something like continuous integration. I don't care. That's cool. It's a great methodology. You want some documentation on how to do it? We've got folks up here. It's good stuff. But as you find things that are broken, as you work within that shared environment, you're still going to go back to your sandbox to do more development. Or fix the things that you broke inside the shared environment. That's always fun. Sooner or later, I'm assuming most of you guys are going to go through QA or some method of testing. I know quality assurance isn't always I've gotten the lecture. I'm good with that. But you're going to go through QA. You're going to go through some testing methodology, which of course leads back to more development, because development never stops. QA people, they complain. My favorite QA tester, I swear to God, it's a miracle I didn't hit it. Came up to me one day and he goes, "Oh, that code you submitted yesterday, it's broken." Really? Wow, okay, I'm sorry, what happens? Well, on the 9th time that I run it, I get a funny error. And I said, wait a minute, you run it 9 times in a row and don't do anything? I forget what the process actually was, honestly, but it was like this, it was this very standalone thing. You would click it once a day or something. And he's like, yeah, I run it 9 times in a row, and on the 9th time, dude, why did you do it with your time? It worked, right? Well, not after 9 times. Nobody's going to click it 9 times. Yeah, I'll go work on it. Anyway. Then you're going to go to a staging environment, a pre-prod environment, some other type of environment. Preparation for, and this is, at around this point, developers, you guys are gone, right? Because this is when the DBAs are coming in and going, yeah, you can't touch anything, don't look at anything, don't talk to me for a week, because I got to set everything up and get it all right. Because we're going to production. And after we get to production, of course, guess what? The business asks for more changes. Because they're never happy. They want that control color red now instead of color green. And so you got to go back and start reworking stuff. This is the process, right? I know it looks kind of like a waterfall, but it's not. It's not intended to be. So, we're going to get you at Sandbox, because I want you to play. How many DBAs have you ever heard say that? Please, go enjoy yourself. Have fun. You won? Okay, cool.
Our DBA set it all the time.
Okay, your DBA set up a Sandbox. Okay, that's right. Because I want you to play, because I want you to learn. And the best ways to learn is poke yourself in the eye, because you can only do that once. Right? You burn down your development environment, you won't do that again. You may find another way to burn it down, but at least that one methodology you won't do again. The whole concept is I want you guys to play, I want you to learn, I want you to grow, I want you to develop code, I want you to fly as fast as you possibly can down the track, without hitting everyone else. And that's why I'm putting you off in a sandbox environment. Here, over here, you can do anything you like. I don't care what you do. Enjoy it. When you burn it down, we have a method for rebuilding it, and you're good to go. That way, we let you make mistakes, we let you screw up, we let you learn, but you're not hurting everyone. Everybody okay with this so far? Good. How do you get it done? This is the magic bullet, and this is the missing piece for most DBAs. Source control. DBAs, by and large, there are exceptions, but by and large, DBAs have never ever put their databases into source control. By and large, DBAs have not taken on code management the way you guys have, and that's a major, major shortcoming. Now there are tools, geez, I don't know, some company that sells these tools, that can help you manage this stuff very efficiently. We'll be talking about it, going through it, and that's what a lot of my demos are about. But the key is, you're going to go to your sandbox from source control, and then from the sandbox back into source control. After the code is tested, right? You don't check in untested code. Then, if you want to, and I like it, I've been using a CI environment for years and years and years, working with database development, and it's been a miracle worker as far as making sure integration and everything works. You have a continuous integration environment. That way, you check out source code. If you screw it up, we will know it, because when you check it back in, it's got your name on it. You check out source code, you validate it, you check it back in. I take that source code, I automatically run it out through a CI environment, I automatically put it out through a deployment, I automatically put it through a series of tests. It's good to go. Now we can put it on our shared server. And again, pulling it from source control. Because source control becomes, just as you guys already manage all your code, right? Yeah. Anybody here not using source control for your C#, VB, whatever code you're running? One guy. Why not? And everyone's looking at you, by the way.
Because I'm the only developer in the company at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, there's your answer. You win. But you're interviewing and you want to know what team development looks like. Okay, good answer. All right. So you managed to get all alone. We've managed to get you isolated off. Now you've got this thing. It's a database, right? What's in it? Possibly nothing. Right. So what are you going to do? You got to get some data. Now, where are you going to get your data? Yeah. What's your DBA say when you go, oh, just give me production data, because that's the best stuff? Yeah, exactly. That's generally my answer. Yeah, no, you can't. But the interesting thing is nowadays, it's getting more and more to where you can't, not because your DBA is a complete, it's a good word, jerk. That's a nice word. And we are. Yeah, oh yeah. Believe me, I've kicked developers to the curb just because I wanted to, not because I actually have a reason. We're jerks. I get it. But nowadays we're running into a situation where data's gotten bigger, and it's harder and harder to move this stuff around. My last employer, we had at least 5 times the amount of storage for development that we had for production. And by 5 times, I mean we had a little bit less than a terabyte of production data, and we had over 5 terabytes of development data. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's broken. It's just broken. But here's the problem. What's the best set of data? The best set of data to testing is? Production. It is. It really is. I mean, I wish it wasn't. I prefer, honestly, I wish you guys just all use generated data. It's easier. It's easier for me, it's easier for you, and you don't have to look at production data. I mean, because after all, when you get production data, my next slide? No, 2 slides in. Okay, I'll tell a story in a minute. Production data comes with problems, which I'll talk about. So, now we're going to get you a database. Oh, I did get ahead of myself. Huh, all right, sorry. Well, we've been talking about this slide. Forgive me. Another tool from Redgate is this, a virtual database. You're dealing with that 5 times data increase. What if you could just, I don't know, connect multiple developers to a single backup file? DBAs, the DBAs in the room, are you guys backing up production regularly? Yes, good, thank you. One, thank you. And developers should also thank you even though they don't know they should. Yes, you're backing up production regularly. What if you could just take that backup and mount it onto a database? As a database. Read only, write, I'm sorry, it's read only. Cut my pay. Read, write, update, delete, run DBCCs against it, develop against it, write stored procedures, drop tables, add tables, do all the stuff against it as if it was a real database. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, well, okay, you can. I'll show you some cool stuff with that in just a second. So now you got a virtual database. This is what things get fun. Now we're going to go and get, what's the best set of data again? Production. Unfortunately, we're going to get your production data. And we could just give you a copy of production data. We can run the production backup and then connect you to it, and you guys go off and have your development fun. But there is an issue. I ran into it personally twice, proving that I am a slow learner. We were using our production data for development. And we were developing a little thing for sending out alerts through email. Yeah, production data, email, automated process. A rather profane test email was generated, which included many, many 4-letter Anglo-Saxon words. I'm sure you guys can come up with some of them. And a few sexual acts that probably shouldn't be implied to anyone, let alone one of your customers. And it went out to our entire customer base. 2 times! Yeah, that was a fun meeting afterward. How will this never happen again? Anyway, so maybe what you need to do is clean up, right? We set up a process whereby we would pull the backup in. Once after we did the restore, we would then run a cleanup. But that's a bit messy, and what do you have to do? Maintain that script for every one of you so that every one of you's got it to run the cleanup beforehand. And what if you forget? What if you run the cleanup and then back up the cleaned up database? And now you've got a clean copy of your database that with virtual restore you share. So you share a clean copy of the database. Now it's much simpler and you're much less likely to send that nasty email out to your customers. Or mix and match, I don't care. And this is something I learned this week. I don't have a demo for it, so I just got a little slide bullet, so I have to remember to mention it. We've got a new thing in our labs called Redgate SQL Data Masker, and it's taken off data generator. You guys heard of that one? Yeah? No? Nod your head, shake your head. I love that tool to death. Oh my God, I love that tool. But nobody wants to use it except me. Anyway, Data Masker is built off the technology of that tool, but what it does is it masks data. So maybe that email thing wouldn't have happened if I had this tool at the time. Probably would have anyway. I'm not quick on the uptake sometimes. But anyway, nice new tool. Take a look at it. I can't show it to you because I didn't want to install it. I already had problems with the demos. And yeah, I'm a chicken, as well as Liz. So let's build a Sandbox server. Any questions on anything I've said so far? Any major disagreements with anything I've said so far? Because I'd love to hear those. Okay, we'll move on. Playtime. All right. So we'll do this live. I've got my backups right over here. Assuming it all works, this will be fun. This is my, I'm going to do that either. Cool. So I'm going to run the backup so you can see it. Database backup, movie management, 2 disks, C, colon, box, the NIT, right? Everybody agree that's a normal backup? Even if you've never seen one before, developer guys. Okay, good. That's what backup looks like. There it is, brand spanking new. Let's hit F5 refresh. 8:30 a.m. Yes, it's 8:30 a.m. in the US. That backup is ready to go. So now I'm going to run a restore. So I'm just restoring my movie management straight, just a straight copy of my movie management database from disk, SQL and backup with movie management to that file, movie management log to that file, replaced. Some of the tests I was doing, I was leaving the databases in place, and I've been dropping them since then. The one little key bit that you need to notice is just that little letter right there. Virtual restores a file filter. That's all it is. It's a file filter. And so it works underneath at the file system level and catches stuff as it goes by. In this case, what it's catching, and the only thing it really cares about, is that. It's catching the restore database command. And it's going to build a database. So that's a database restore process. And we go over here and do a refresh. You'll see that we've got the new database, movie management straight. And if you take a look at the properties of the movie management database, you will see, let's see if this works. Oops, don't do that, that's bad. Oh God, no, that's not, that's really bad. Stop. All right, what do you need to do this? Woohoo, save. All right, let's get back into properties here so we can look at something. There we go. All right, I'm not going to zoom in this time because that was messy. Squint, and it's 49 megabytes, 15 megabytes file size on the original database. So now I've got this new database, and this is great. Watch this. This is so cool. If you take a look at the files, it's 49 and 15. Oh, crud. Maybe it's broken. I know. Let's go look at the files themselves. So we want to take a look at the files themselves. Take a look at our data file. And we'll take sort by data modified, get them right up on top. Here's our new database, movie management straight. You'll notice the hyperback archive file, and notice the file sizes. Yeah, they are not 40 megs. It's 1.4 megs for this one and 256 megs for this one. It's small. It really is. These are tiny little things now, because that's virtual restore mounting a database backup, not actually doing a full-on restore. It's just mounted the backup. And here's a couple of cool things about it. Let's play some more. Now that I've got that in place, what I'm going to do is, oh, I don't know, get rid of those nasty emails so I don't send them out to my boss. I'm updating just a random table on it with null values. Nothing special here. So everything was updated to null. And notice, this is my original database, movie management. Let's go ahead and write a query. Oops. Helps you get your fingers in the right keys. Run that. Results come back. And you'll notice that other details is all filled in. So that update statement did not go against the original database, it went against the backup. Except it didn't really go against the backup, it was stored in the stub files that we created for the database. So what we've got here is a virtualized database with any updates going into these new files. And you can even see, if we take a look at the files again, that they've changed in size. Let's see. Log files definitely changed in size. Mainly because I'm not running my log backups right now. Shame, bad deviating, bad. One bit about this is really cool. It only saves the changes. One bit about this that's a little bit problematic. It saves all the changes. So over time, and by time I don't mean like hours or days, I mean weeks and months, your database size, the database file size on here is going to grow to be as big as your production database backup file sizes are. There's no magic here. If you change everything in the database, guess what gets stored? Everything, okay? But in short periods of time, days and weeks, which is long enough for a good sprint, right? In theory, maybe. If it didn't break and if there wasn't an issue, management didn't get involved, et cetera, et cetera. So a good 4 to 6 weeks you can run with this on your local machine, and you will not be looking at big databases. You're looking at very, very, very small databases, very, very small database size. So it's great, great utility. Everybody okay with it so far? Excellent. Let's see if we're supposed to look at slides next or not. I just closed my code. Who let me in the room? All right, here's my next big thing. So, now, instead of making you guys all run these scripts to clean up your data, I'm going to run a backup of the virtual database. Can I do it? Yes, I can. So if you run that, we'll take a quick look at it. It's a little bit smaller, but what did I do? It's a full-on backup. This is a complete backup through the virtual backup, or sorry, through the virtual database. But it's a complete backup, but it's smaller. Why is it smaller? Anybody? Because I just deleted a bunch of data. So it's actually reflecting the fact that I've modified the data, but it's doing a full backup. This thing is so cool. Nobody else is excited as I am, I can tell. I don't know, I just find this just amazing, endlessly. Now, I'm going to create my Sandbox environment. So finally, I'm going to create my Sandbox environment. I'm going to create your Sandbox environment. And both of them I'm creating off the same database backup file, okay? I've got two Sandbox environments now. Mine and yours. Movie Management Sandbox, Movie Management Your Sandbox, okay? If I were to update the data in Movie Management Sandbox, for example, you can see that, now I want you to notice, please notice, MM_clean.back is where this came from, and MM_clean.back is where that came from. And they are both virtual, notice they are both virtual databases, virtual restores on the database. If I run this query, in theory, I should see data changed in only one location and not the other. And if we take a look at it, ta-da! I don't know who Charlene Hartman is, but sorry, this is generated data. God knows who she is. It really is updated, even though the one didn't come in from the other. Is everybody okay with me so far? Everybody understand what I've done? Cool, because it's going to make the rest of it easier. Otherwise, this will be really hard. Okay. Cool. So now we've got to the point. I can get you guys Sandbox environments, right? We can get this stuff going, and here's your Sandbox. Now you go play, enjoy your life. It's all good. One little issue. Don't we have to do something with those environments? I mean, beyond, the fact that I've got this cool, small database that I share with someone else and no one updates each other's data, yay. Code has to come from someplace, right? I've got to change database structures. I've got to mess with this stuff. I've got to get everything connected into source control. I mainly have this up for the DBAs. This is for you guys to carry back to your teams and tell them. Whatever your process is, great, put it into source control and then make a religion of it. Just don't get offended. But make it something you do every single day with your code, the way you do it, the right way. The methods that you guys use with your code is what they should be doing with the database. Couple of points about this. Couple versus decoupling. The idea is that there's tools out there that, by the way, you don't need to touch a Redgate tool at all to do this whole process on laying out. We just make it easier. And better, but frankly. But honestly, you don't need us to do this stuff. But one bit, the DBAs, and DBAs in the room, and any developers who think they know the answer, DBAs, what's your number one tool? What? What is it? SSMS, Management Studio, yes, absolutely, that is our number one tool. There are tools out there that do some of what I'm showing you. Not all of what I'm showing you, but some of what I'm showing you. And they do it in a decoupled manner, meaning that they disconnect you from your database. Now there's mechanisms that allow you to connect to your database, but that's not the default mechanism. The default mechanism is decoupled, it's completely divorced. Not only is it divorced, but it's using other tools, not using the tools you know, and the tools you're comfortable with, it's using that nasty little tool over there. No, I like the tool thing. But most DBAs are more comfortable in another place. And so our tools, SQL Source Control, allows you to work within Management Studio, within the tools you know, using mechanisms you're completely comfortable with because you can use anything, GUI, T-SQL, I don't care, make the modifications to the databases and capture them real time and put them in your source control as needed. But it allows you to tightly couple with your process without breaking all the stuff you've already learned and all the things you can already do. So let's play with that. What I've got here is a breaking change, okay? I'm going to add a not null column to my table. And I need to be able to then add a default value for all of the existing data. Do you understand? Okay, cool. Some of the developers are looking at me funny. Some of them are nodding their heads. Okay, the guys who are nodding their heads, explain to the people who look funny. Just look around. All right. And then I'm going to, and I do that by renaming my table, dropping all the constraints, creating the correct new structure, and then migrating my data into it. So it's standard process, right? Nobody's shocked by this, yes? Okay, good. Run it. And then, of course, I drop the table that had all the old data. So now, good, I'm in the right database. That's a miracle. I was in the wrong one. So now I've got the change, and you can see it. Here it is, DBO Studio, the database has changed. Let's go to source control, and I'm going to look at committing the changes. Now, source control is pretty smart, or it used to be. What's going on? Uh-oh. Maybe I did put it in the wrong database. Hang on. That'd be funny, not. Oh, probably I did this. Hang on, let's do this. Watch this. Let's undo the work I just did, because I'm a bad DBA. Now I'm going to commit that work. Cool. Now I'm going to do all the crud I just explained to you, because I am a bad DBA. There we go. And now when I go to source control, yay! My source control system is suggesting to me that the changes that I'm implementing are possibly going to cause data loss. So I might want to create this little thing called a migration script. Cool, let's do that. Let's go in here for the uncommitted objects, which is Studio. I'm going to create and edit a script. It's going to generate a script for you, but frankly, I don't like it. And it's not that they're generating bad scripts. Don't go out and tell my developers I don't like their work. I do. That's right. My own work better. Well, you know what? I've got a script right here. I just ran. If I take that, it does everything I want it to do because I wrote it out. I made it so it does exactly what I expect, exactly the way I expect it. What if I just went in here and did a copy and replace? Nuts. Come on, get it right, you idiot. What if I did a copy and replace? And now process that command. Check it all in. You guys do understand, everybody in here understands like the idea of check out, check in, get latest. Okay, so that's some people yesterday told me, you know, you should have gone over that because I've never heard of it before. You guys are all comfortable with it, everybody? Okay, good. By the way, my virtual machine sometimes runs slow on check-ins. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I suppose I should spend a bunch of time trying to figure it out. Basically, what we've got now is this new change that's been checked in. And let's go down to your sandbox now. On your sandbox, we're going to do a get latest. Yes, there was a source control change found. Hey, you What? It sees the change in commit. Oh, let me go get David. This is upsetting. I told you guys this is the cool part, and this is the part that now is breaking. It sees the change that has to go. Why is it trying to? And there's the migration script. Nuts. Well, okay, let's move on. you should have seen, I love saying that. What you should have seen is a change that is clearly evident in the system. You should have seen the change here, and we'd be able to make the update, and it would make the update using the migration script that was successfully added and checked in. And it would then rebuild the database without data loss. So you can do incremental updates to your databases without losing data directly and automate it. Huh?
It's not to do with how you've got your database set up as dedicated or shared.
No. No, it shouldn't be. They're all dedicated anyway, though. Mainly because they were supposed to be replicating a local environment, therefore be dedicated, not shared. That's frustrating. Yeah, the changes are all checked in. It's all good. It should be working. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so sorry.
You've got uncommitted changes on your sandbox as well. In the last demo, did you do it the other way around?
No, this is all, no, I've been doing it the same way every time. It failed last time, but a completely different way. That's why I'm very upset, because I had it working this morning. Told you, it worked 4 times in a row.
The fifth time you didn't test.
Yes, I know, that's right. Just it. See? Yeah, maybe that guy was right. His was 9, though, not 5. Well, you can see that the change should be there. It should be picking it up. It's not getting it right. It had something to do with configuration of my system last time with the IP addresses and stuff, and it may still, oh, hang on, let's try one more. Bear with me 1 second. Let me try one thing. Because I'd love to see this work. Extended properties. Now you guys get to see under the covers a little bit. SVN, internet. No, that's right. Nuts. Yep, I don't know. All right, we're going to move on. Rather than hold you up. That's what should have happened. All right, had. So, who works on a system where you develop it once and stop? You, okay, yeah, you're on your own again. You can do that.
Yeah, also the only DBA on the project.
Oh, you're also the only DBM. Cool. Okay, for the rest of us. No one else raised their hand, because why? Change is constant, right? If the world outside wasn't changing and causing us to change our code, my boss's mind changed every time he blinks. So that's going to cause changes. Not my current boss. He's back there tweeting Gareth right now. I met my previous boss, and I really do mean my previous boss changed the mind of how we're going. It was a whole new world for it. Look, wow. Hey. Anyway. Development is constant, change is constant, development plus change is a pain in the derriere. So, automation. DBAs, all one of you, are using PowerShell. Wannabe DBAs in the room are using PowerShell. Start. That's all I have to say. Start. Start using PowerShell. Microsoft is on the road, and they're not there yet for quite a while, but they are on the road to creating a 2-tier system inside of the administration and management. And the 2 tiers are going to be the lower tier, the lower paid tier is going to be GUI only, and the higher paid tier is going to be PowerShell and GUI. And going for the top, maybe. Right? I want the big money. At least, decent retirement or something. But it's going to split. They are splitting it. It's happening. There's commands going in certain apps that are only available in PowerShell. It's occurring. So plan for it. Start learning that stuff now. So what if we automated the process? What if we could make it so that when you finish a sprint and you're getting ready to reset for the next one, you could just go and click a button someplace, run, I don't know, a PowerShell script. It will do all the database backups, all the production backups, sorry, can't do that. But it will do all the database restores, all the cleanup, and all the code changes, and get it all set up for you automatically on the fly. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be, I don't know, useful? Because you sure don't have to do all the stuff I did manually, stepping through it one at a time. Especially because if you guys have been doing lots of restores, it's easy to screw them up, actually. So it's better to script them out and do them off the scripts. And I say that because I screw them up on a regular basis. I'm not picking on anyone because I'm throwing rocks at myself. So, what if we did this? Someplace down here. There it is. Movie management. Let's open that up. No, that's not the right one. That's my data generator file. This one. Let's open that up. This is the movie management file. Stop that. Wrong file again. There we go. Again, who let me in the room? All right, this little PowerShell script I wrote. Just a little one's no big deal. But it's going to illustrate several things. First off, I'm importing the modules, SQL PowerShell, disabling name checking because I'm lazy and don't want to look at crud going on the screen, although I left several things on. I'm doing a set location to my master database. Once there, I'm going to restore databases. Oh gosh, before I try to run this, let me fix something. Not so much fix as prevent breaking something. As God knows, I suspect this isn't going to work any better than the other demo did. But we could get lucky. So what I'm doing now is running a restore SQL database command from PowerShell. Not hard, nice and easy. Matter of fact, it's a much more sophisticated mechanism for doing restores because of all the PowerShell language and T-SQL is. So something to think about. I'm invoking SQL command, updating resources to set the other loads, to set the other details to null, just like I did before with the script. No shocks, no surprises. I'm then setting my location back to master again, because it invokes SQL command, changes it to where I just ran it to. And then I'm running a backup of that file. Everybody with me? Command line, one at a time, right? Okay, cool. And I note that you could simply stop and say that script is something you run on a weekly basis or something or a daily basis for creating your cleanup database, right? That could be one command set that you automate and run and walk away from. And then this is a different command set. This is the Sandbox building command set, okay? Now what I'm doing is I'm running a restore to my database management Sandbox from the backup file. And I want to point out, because it's worth noting, I'm defining the file names as VMDF and VLDF. So these will be when they run the restore, because the restore is a SQL command, no changes at all. But because of the file filter, it's going to pick that up. These will be a virtual restore, all right, automatically generated through PowerShell. And by the way, everything I've set up now works. We're getting down to the part that breaks. And here's a bit of code I haven't updated. We'll fix that right now. Cool. Then I call my SVN commands, connect up to movie management and check out my stuff to the correct files. And then I update the database based on source control. Yeah, I can call SQL compare directly from command line, either DOS commands or PowerShell commands, passing in all the stuff I've already set up. Or another mechanism is I can go, this compares database to database. I've actually got another, or some sort of script set to database. This one goes into source control directly instead of messing around with going into scripts. So you can go directly to your source control system from SQL compare through a command line automated interface. I can press a button and have a refreshed Sandbox environment anytime I need one. So as developers, you guys can dig deep, deep, dark black holes in your own playground and then reset them on the fly. That's the goal. Now let's just see if it works. PowerShell, PowerShell, PowerShell. I'll never find what I need. There it is. All right, Sandbox dev.
you save that script after you change it?
Pardon?
Did you save the script after you change it?
I think I did, but you know what? Let's do it again just in case. Thank you. Sandbox refresh.ps1. All right. Anyway. So, it's doing restores, it does a backup, it does another restore. It has now done a get on the stuff to pull out the scripts if it needs it, and now it's going to compare on the databases. And this, by the way, is where it crashed yesterday. So we'll see what happens. I'm holding my breath. It does take it a couple of minutes, so we'll wait on that. But basically, when I'm not screwing up, the tool actually works well. Oh! Nuts!
So if you
Okay, IP address again. I think I can fix it. Hang on. Oh, we have some luck here going possibly. Let's check it. It's right down here. Oh, it's going to be the scripts XML. The scripts XML and the migrations XML. Where the heck are those stored? Nope. I know. Hang on. We're going to get this. We're going to win, guys. In theory. Let's see. Scripts XML, there it is. There's a few too many places this is stored, frankly. And the migrations XML. Cool. All right, let's try one more time. Woo, cross your fingers. I'm excited. Oops, hang on. Do that. A world of hurt. Cool. So once more, we're running the restores. Once more, we're running the backups. Nothing should be shocking. Shouldn't be any errors. Boom. In theory. Wow. Okay, we're going to fail in a different place. Yeah, okay, so the backup didn't work, the restore didn't work. Let's see what happens. It's doing the compare. It's actually doing the compare this time. We're in good shape. Okay, finished. Let's take a look at it. Let's go here. Let's refresh. Sorry. Nuts. Okay, didn't work. Failed the same spot as the other one failed. It's not recognizing the fact that there's the change script in there again. Okay, moving on again. You get the idea, right? And this, by the way, I just want to point out, this is me and my screw-ups, not the tool. Okay, just a quick recap. The idea was to talk about process-focused development, especially if we're trying to get the DBAs in the room where you guys take it home to your DBAs, to focus on the idea that you guys know what you're doing, and you really do, and get them on board with your methods of process. To set up sandbox environments so you have a playground so you can make mistakes, like my virtual machine here, which I keep screwing up. And without hurting other people, to get your database code into source control so it's tracked. I mean, DBAs, just so you know, developers, sorry, the cool thing about source control is you get to find out who did stuff. So when Timmy screws up the proc, you can go and find him and have a little chat with Timmy. Let's talk. Why are you putting functions on my where clause? Right? And then you can automate the entire process. Benji? Oh, okay. Oh, Benji, okay. It's probably just like Timmy, or Deb from the other company. Resources, I've got a whole article I wrote on this. Don't worry about trying to capture that URL, because all of this video will be available to you guys August 1st. By the way, housekeeping stuff, let me mention, all the sessions today are being recorded and will be made available to you along with slide decks on August 1st. Feedback forms are in the atrium. No, sorry, I won't get you going. Feedback forms in the atrium. Please, please, please. Even if you don't get any speakers feedback, feedback's a gift. And if you got anything out of today, the return gift for us would be give us some feedback, how we can improve the event, not necessarily, you know, our stupid demos. I already know it doesn't work. And let's see, if you can't find them in the atrium, they'll be on the seats during the next session. And at 5 p.m., you will be able to collect your goodie bag, which includes a book, a t-shirt, and there is free beer and wine. And we all have to just get through 2 more sessions to get to it. All right, leave this up, and we can answer questions if we have any.
Yeah, that virtual restore thing, that's predicated on the Regate tool, though.
Yes, absolutely. It is SQL Virtual Restore from Redgate software, yes.
Which is part of SQL tool belt.
Okay.
No.
Not being in sales, I'll take your word for it.
No,
Oh, I got somebody back there shaking his head saying, no, I'm a crazy person. It's not in SQL Tool Belt.
No, SQL Virtual Restore is not in SQL.
Okay, it's not part of SQL Tool Belt. It is part of the DBA.
It's just a free edition, man.
I'm sorry?
It's just a free goodie.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
You can try it.
Yeah, it's
We're
worth a
pretty
try.
good with free, but
Well, I had a guy yesterday, and his question was, if I ask you a good question, will you give me a copy of your book? And it just so happened I had exactly 1 copy, and now he has it.
Do you know how much it is?
I'll tell you in 30 seconds.
That's,
Any other questions, sir?
Yeah, how does the digital restore work? Because it's actually a restore statement as far as SQL Server is concerned.
It is a
Regular restore statement.
It's a full-blown restore statement as far as SQL Server is concerned, and we allow all consistency checking, all the normal processes of roll forward, roll back, and all that stuff is all managed through SQL Server, but we're hiding from SQL Server the fact that there is a database file there and not letting it do stuff that it would normally do. We're catching the writes and preventing them from occurring effectively. There's a whole bunch of details that I don't know, but that's effectively what's going on, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I know, you kind of go, yeah, that sounds creepy. And you know what? If we were doing this in a production environment, it would be. But I'm not proposing that you use this for your production server.
No, of course.
I mean, for object level recovery, yeah. You know, for database consistency checking, oh heck yeah. You know, I mean, development, there's a whole slew of development processes you can plug this into. It's great, it's a great tool. I sit around trying to think of different ways to use it because it's so much fun. Especially watching, you know, like this 300 gigabyte database become like 3K. I drop it and recreate it just to watch. Yes?
With the data mask, obviously it's in beta still or labs, but is there a possibility of using your data generator to then cover up stuff like confidential information? So your devs can work with X amount, but you've got, say for example, HR information, cover up people's data first, SSN numbers, things like that.
You know, honestly, I wish I could tell you, I don't know. I only found out about it this week and I haven't had a chance to play with it at all. So I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you. Go out and ask the guys. I'm pretty sure the developers are out there for it. So.
yeah, I suspect that's the general idea.
Yeah.
Because I know I was talking to them last year about using it with systems where you're using PCI data and credit card stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, again.
We raised that as an important issue.
I'm sorry, I just hadn't heard of it until this week, and so I just haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Crazy.
I only heard of it as a product today, but I know that me and probably many other people have raised that
Oh yeah.
as an issue.
Me too. Yeah, I brought it in too. It's like, can we? Come on. Surely. Anyway, yes.
Just answer the question. SQL Virtual Restore is priced from £340. It's part of the DBA bundle, which also comes with SQL Backup, SQL Monitor, SQL Multiscript, SQL Artifact, and that's from £835.
Okay. Cool. Yes, sir.
Just make sure that I understand correctly. We are dealing with database sizes between terabyte, 2 terabytes.
Yep.
And at one point, we have 3 to 5 developers working on a project.
Right.
Say we use this product,
Yep.
which is quite impressive. So we get it down to 100 gig, for instance, and we set up 5 sandboxes, for argument's sake.
Yes.
Database size, that's it. The size of that file, that creates virtual file, increases in proportion to the changes made to the database. Is that right? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, because every time you make changes, you need to run full load, and obviously that make changes to certain settings, etc.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're off the list, no. Yeah, that's gonna be, if you're doing full load every single time in a sandbox environment, then yeah, it's gonna.
No, what I meant was when I run full load, it doesn't actually change the database. Basically, the database size start with a terabyte.
Oh.
We make full load, and it actually detects what's changed.
Oh,
it only
okay.
processes the changes.
Oh, right, yeah, so you insert, let's say 100 gig worth of data.
Yeah.
You've now got a 200 gig database,
Yeah,
as opposed to a terabyte.
Yeah.
Or 2 terabyte database, yeah. It's gonna grow based on the amount of data touched. It won't go past the size of a full-blown database.
Yeah.
Right? It'll just get to that size eventually.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Eventually being, depending on your system, although
Yeah.
yours sounds like eventually would be like 3 or 4 days, but most people will eventually be 3 or 4 weeks, 8 weeks, somewhere in that range, at least. Some longer. I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
systems where the data changes are pretty benign, but it just depends.
In that example that's just been used, it's at like 340 quid to use this tool for the 5 developers.
Oh, you gotta talk to somebody else.
That's the person that has backing up, or is that per server being per developer? Because it's going to have.
What's the action called in soccer? I'm sorry, football. When the goalie grabs the ball and then does one of these numbers down the field. Punt. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Talk to the sales guys.
It's per server.
Okay.
So it's per server where you run the software. So if you had 5 developer databases, all sitting on one server, all running off one, all as virtually restored databases, all running off one backup file, that would be one license. But if you wanted 5 separate servers, each of which had a virtually restored database running off one backup file, that would be 5 licenses.
And does the term server refer to one SQL Server instance?
No, it refers to a SQL server running in a Windows operating system.
So if I've got 4 instances on one box, that's one server.
Yes.
Cool. Just to be clear.
Yeah, clarity's good. Any other questions beyond pricing questions? Because I hate those. Oh, having him in here is great.
I don't like it much either.
Mainly because I never look at the pricing. Maybe I should. Any other questions? No? If not, then you guys actually get 3 minutes back. Thank you for coming, and that's it.
Well, one last thing.
Oh, no, no,
The guys who know that code, were they worried at all about getting tried for witchcraft?
They got you what they thought it would be. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Now we're going next.
A really short story.
Hi, I recognise you from. Were you at the Leicester?
I was, yes. Yes.
All right.
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
David,
Nigel.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, you gave me your card.
Yeah, I thought about I might have to come down there. It's always good.
Yeah, that's it. Talks. Yeah, that's right.
Nice day.
Scary one. And they all
To be
went,
honest,
oh, Grant.
I did actually try and get on the Friday one, but it was sold out.
Yeah, same here. So I have to put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of works. It's like it's on Saturday anyway. So.
That's right.
What we got next?
Yeah, mainly US story. Yeah.
Did you see the one this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, that really that got my brain going.
I would love to go to the
I would love to.
I would love to.
Take care of all the arrangements. It would be great.
I would go to Israel in New York second. I would love to go. You just have to talk to my bosses, because they're the ones who pay my salary.
Yeah.
They're the ones who decide where I go, but yeah, I'm game.
Just anyway,
Okay, sure.
you ever go down? That's what we'd love.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. I will follow up, thank you.
Right.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Glancing.
Okay, Glenn, just exactly as it's spelled.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you, appreciate it.
IP address issues? Is it the same issue?
No, it's a different issue this time.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, we need to put more diagnosis
I
information.
tested several tests every time, and I sat down and read it.
Maybe it's geography related, so it depends which route you're
Yeah,
in.
well, you know what, one issue, my IP address did change again. And
Ah.
I updated the host file, and everything was working just fine. It was only the.
I'm really curious.
The migrations.
So we'll definitely, you haven't got any more sessions today, do you?
No, I have one.
Oh, you have, when's that? Is that up? It's
Not in this one, but the next one.
Okay, so we can sit down.
Sure.
Now and have a coffee and a beer.
Oh, the beer's out already?
No.
Oh, nuts. Cool, got an invite to go to Israel. I'd do that.
Oh, really? What consultancy?
Oh, no, he wants me to just come out and do some training. I don't think I said anything to say like that.
Training on what?
SQL Server stuff,
Okay.
you know. But no, not a consultancy. I don't think it was a consultancy gig. I think it was just a speaking gig.
Okay, so basically free.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. I'm gonna rebuild myself and I'm gonna get going.
Who's on next here? Colin.
Yeah, SQL storage.
Yeah. I'll see you at the back and just come to the Johnson.
Yep, yeah, I'm going.